The Performance Anxiety Art Exhibition, located on the first floor of the Doane Hall of Art, opened on March 3rd. The exhibition was put together by Paula Burleigh, Assistant Professor of Art History, and artist and Professor Eric Charlton, along with 6 student assistants.
Historically, I think that term performance anxiety refers to being afraid to perform in front of people, so like stage fright. But in this culture, I think performance anxiety is kind of flipped. We're not anxious about performing, we're performing because of our anxieties.
The exhibition was inspired by the intersection of philosopher Byung-Chul Han's ideas and the experiences of most people during the COVID-19 pandemic, those of shrinking from the real world into the digital one. After studying Han's work, Burleigh and Charlton proposed this art exhibition, inviting 2 other artists, Taha Haydari and Wednesday Kim, to participate. One of the many ways this exhibition differs from a traditional gallery is the inclusion of the audience in the art, literally. 2 of Professor Charlton's pieces, Smiles and NPR Laugh Track, mimic both the sights and sounds of an audience. Smiles does so through a collection of 14 sculptures of teeth, each facing work by either Kim or Haydari. NPR Laugh Track plays snippets of laughter from NPR talk shows, creating an effect that can be surprisingly disorienting. K.M. Htet, one of the student assistants, explained on a tour that smiles act as a surrogate audience and seek to take the place of the people who can't be there. They grin awkwardly at the art, unsure of what else to do. Burleigh noted that not all of the work was conceived or created with the pandemic in mind, but those pieces still speak to the quarantine experience.
Wednesday made this work before the pandemic. So she did her MFA in New York City, and then she moved away, first to Alaska and then to North Dakota. So to these really remote locales where she was forced to conduct much of her life online. So whether it was professional or social, she was kind of living online before the rest of us were. And then the pandemic hit, and then we all had to do this. But she made this work pre-pandemic, kind of thinking about just the sheer exhaustion that was required of putting herself out there online all the time and sort of creating this second life for herself on the internet, which on the one hand was kind of helped her foster community with other artists. But on the other hand, there's just that level of exhaustion.
For those unable to attend the in-person tours, there's an online experience available on the art gallery's website.
As we put everything online because of the pandemic, we're putting, curator-led tours online, we have videos, we have installation photos. We actually need to do that for every show anyway, because we need to be able to engage wider audiences who can't necessarily come to Allegheny when we have an exhibition, but they can still experience our show. So that's for us something that's really going to continue beyond the pandemic, I think, that level of virtual engagement and documentation online.
Guillaume Loinard, a gallery visitor, said that he was very appreciative of the way the gallery was presented and how it felt like, quote, the art had real meaning behind it. Htet explained that the value was to be found in the thinking that the art provided. Quote, as long as you find a single thing worth thinking about while going through the gallery, I think it's a benefit for you. Performance Anxiety will close on April 10th. Next, the gallery will host a student exhibit showcasing the work of Allegheny juniors and seniors. This story was produced by Muhammad Mansour and Sami Mirza.